All right. So welcome everyone to our Good of the Whole Global Heart Resonance Call. And this is just a beautiful opportunity to really come in and dive in and experience what we're describing as what's called the unified field. This beautiful oasis where we come together and just open to receiving and really receiving that sense of nurturing for all the work, to really acknowledge all the work we're doing in the world, and to be in a place of opening to that flow of grace, that deeper sense of intimacy. So we always open our call with sharing a little bit about Good of the Whole, so people who are just coming on for the first time. And then we have a heart resonance. Dinama is part of our resonance council, Good of the Whole, and she's going to be holding that container for us. And then I'll come back on and express a little bit of what our focus is, what our resonant reflection is today, and a few guidelines. And then this is a participatory call where we invite everyone to feel that sense of home, that sense of safety, and express themselves as the field itself. So a little bit about Good of the Whole. Our shared purpose is we are really focused on transcending that worldview of fear. There's so much, as Charlie was saying, there's so much going on in the world, and to really hold the container for that fear and scarcity and separation to shift into love, abundance, and wholeness. So here we're coming together to really cultivate that ethos of wholeness. And so as you're breathing in, as you're listening, just opening to that experience of that wholeness. So each week we come here and we gather at what we call a watering hole. And so that each person can feel revitalized as a collective conscious and fueled for our week ahead. And that we're here as whole beings serving the greater whole. So with that, I'm going to pass our virtual talking stick to Dinama, and she'll open the call for us this morning.
Hello, and welcome to this buoyant field of love. The invitation is to release that which has brought us to this moment and be fully in the flow and buoyancy of the field of our wholeness, love, the frequency of our true being, home, the heart, knowing all, loving all, being all that is as our true nature. And as we breathe and release these bubbles of joy into the energetic field of our oneness, we feel the stillness within, our forever peace, breathing us and expressing through our breath out into this creation, this co-creative field of our experience. Breathing in, breathing out, And in this state of pure peace, we commune. And so it is.
So continuing in that vibrational state. And as I was sitting here, I was realizing that today's call, Cultivating Intimacy, is really that intimacy is a state of being. It's an experience of being that flow of energy that fills us, that grows us, that nurtures us. So before I share into the field about this theme today, I just want to give a couple of guidelines for those people that are new on this call. And really simply, as a participatory call, we just invite you to say your name and speak from your heart in present time to the center of this circle. So as if you can imagine that we're all in a circle. And share the seeds of what's coming through you. It could be a seed of a story, but the bottom line insight, what's really moving for you. And that we invite conscious listening to what is evolving. So as if we were weaving this beautiful tapestry together, and that shuttle was going across as each person speaks. Following the thread of this conversation, this connection. We invite you to speak 1 to 2 minutes. And here you can speak more than once, just listening for when that impulse moves you. And acknowledging when you're complete. And lastly, this is one of the most important parts is that is the pause. That we allow for the space in between where we actually are infused from the field itself. We allow pauses here. And also, if you're on a phone, it takes a little bit more time for people to unmute themselves on the phone. So to just allow that space. Everyone knows when it's their turn to speak. You'll be really surprised if you're new on this call. So we're just really happy that you've chosen to participate here. And with that, today's resonant reflection, Cultivating Intimacy. And so, we had a call this morning, and Nahid said this beautiful piece, which was intimacy is relationship to this flow, to this energy. And we'll begin with this quote. When we are intimate in all domains of our lives, every activity becomes a way of making love. In the freshness of each moment, we learn the secret of rising in love over and over again. Not just with a partner, but with life itself. And that intimacy means to fully be present, engaged, and vibrantly alive in all relationships. That this experience, this feeling of intimacy, brings in a sense of connection and caring. And here's a key piece today, being at home with oneself. So here, with Good of the Whole, we're talking about the home frequency. What is that frequency that really emerges from that experience of communion, that deeper sense of knowing, and that willingness to be known? That this sense of intimacy, when we experience it in our body, brings forth a sense of aliveness. And this sense of aliveness is an erotic quality. It's a vibrant connection to ourselves and to each other. So today, the invitation is to open our hearts, feel this inner passion, expressing your radiance, your love, and bringing it present into the moment. So with that, this invitation is just to open your breath, take a little pause, and then we just put the talking stick in the center of the circle and feel free to speak, keeping it to 1 to 2 minutes, and then passing that talking stick on. And together we get to weave this tapestry of love. I'm complete.
This is Julie, and I'll start because I got this song going inside my head that won't stop. So it's a clue, I think. When Dinamo was doing the beautiful attunement, and there was a phrase where you were going to say something, and I heard cosmic wonderland. And as soon as you said something different, but I heard cosmic wonderland. And I thought, oh, beautiful words, cosmic wonderland. And then I'm like, this has nothing to do with intimacy. So I kind of let that go. And then, so then the song, Your Body is a Wonderland, who sang that? That's like, it's our generation, Your Body is a Wonderland. And so this, Your Body is a Wonderland just keeps going on and on and on. I was thinking, oh yeah, this cosmic wonderland of who we be. And so I'm prompted to share this experience. I've been having a lot of really beautiful cosmic experiences recently, and shifting so much inside. And I just, with this intimacy piece and this cosmic wonderland in our body, of really looking at more than intimacy with this field, because when we say this field, this unified field, we all instantly use our head and we go outside, and we think we're connecting to something out here, this field that's between us. And I've been guided to really connect intimately with the God within, the indwelling of creation that's within, and playing with that and living it and being in this cosmic wonderland of intimacy with the creative source within. We literally instantaneously, see, words can't describe this, but we are then intimately in connection with one another, intimately in connection with the whole of who we be. So so this cosmic wonderland, and your body is a wonderland. It's like, bring that into that cosmic indwelling of creator within. With that, I'm complete.
I'll speak. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Charlie Riverman Bergeron, and I'm here today, as Shelley posted the invite and asked me if I would share it this morning. And I don't usually, Mondays are my day for me. And when I read the headline of intimacy, I said, wow, I feel like I need to be here. And the reason I'm here is because my journey has brought me to this intimacy within myself. And you said it so beautifully. It's a cosmic wonderland of intimacy. And most of us look at intimacy from a different perspective. And so this morning, as I was scanning, as I usually do, the world to see where the suffering is and where the blessings need to go, I realized that we're really being overloaded in this time frame, and what is really lacking is intimacy. And how heartbreaking that was for me this morning to come to that realization that we can do a lot of wonderful things in the world, but if we can't open our hearts and truly be intimate with each other, we have a much more difficult path to bring ourselves back into a cohesive consciousness. And so I'm glad to be here, and thank you all for your heart resonance, and looking forward to what you all bring forth as well. I'm complete.
This is Oriana. And so I was really feeling the resonant field as Julie was speaking to it, and feeling that, oh, that's it. We are this field. And as the spirit permeates the physical form, the field permeates all living, all life. And the intimacy of feeling the field, what I've discovered in my journey going inward to find how we interface with the quantum field internally. Where is that allows us the doorway to the quantum field that we feel? And what I discovered was in the mitochondrial DNA, it is a double loop, and well ordered within its molecular structural form to form fractal antenna. And these fractal antenna, as science calls them, are capable of opening as sensors. And the sensors are attuned to this higher frequency that we hear as the hum of the universe. In infinite still, what sets it all in motion? I wonder. I wonder. If wonder is what I am. And then the field feels to me like fractal patterns spinning and spiraling in this beautiful orchestration that you hear that's beyond the audible, but you can feel the vibration as it's moving through. And in the mitochondrial microtubules of endoplasmic reticulum, it's the microtubules that are consciousness. And it is there that it flows with water through the microtubules and engages with the vacuum so that photons come into being. The photon then is the biophoton field that is our spirit moving through. Where do we come from? Where do we still exist? Simultaneously. In the fullness of time. I am complete.
This is Henry. Good morning. So I feel immersed now in the feeling quality of the field. And I guess the feeling quality of the field, that perception allows the connection of intimacy, allows that connection of the mystical experience, of the oneness at its deepest level, the embrace. And when we allow ourselves, as the time before, to free fall into the arms of the beloved, to just let go into that intimacy and to feel the embrace that is there, which is so needed, as another person expressed, in the world at this time, to kind of wish and send that forth as a blessing. May each person feel that they are able to free fall into the arms of the beloved and feel that there is that beloved there present. And know that. And know that this is a spark that is opening to the newness, a deepening of that field that we are cultivating. As we join together in circles like this, that we co-create the field in a way that beyond what we can do just individually. We come together by the waters, the healing waters within each of us. And we know that that is us in our truest place. And we give that space in our pauses, especially when we join together in a circle like this, that it be cultivated, that it be multiplied. I feel complete.
Good morning, everyone. This is June. And as I'm sitting, taking in all of this incredible home feeling of being at home with myself and with each one of you, I ask myself, why am I not here all the time? Because it's certainly a wonderful, deep experience of life that is so much deep, richer and fuller than when I'm not at home, not in intimacy. But I realize that my ability to be intimate in the world or with anyone else comes from my ability to be intimate with myself. And so I ask myself, what keeps me out of intimacy with myself if I'm not in that flow? And it always is some kind of judgment I have about myself. Because if I'm having difficulty looking into me, then I'm not going to want someone else to be able to look into me. And so I shut down at that level. And so it's like, what is it that I judge about myself when I do that keeps me out of that flow? What is it that I don't want to see myself so that I then don't let others see? And so that's the question for me. You know, where are those places that I find that I'm not where I should be, or as open or loving or whatever it is? And so as I work with my own ability to be home in intimacy all the time, I'm just really aware that I've got to be constantly just present with where I am and how far deep into me I allow myself to be. Because when I'm there, then I can look into the eyes of anyone else and allow them to be there in me. And so it's just just an awareness that how important it is for me to always be aware of where I am and how I am feeling about myself, how much I love myself, so that I can allow others in to love me as well. And it's just, I love this topic. It's it's home. And if all of us could live in this place most of the time, our world would be quite amazing. Anyway, I just so appreciate each of you and being in this space together with you. So
I'm feeling to pull on that thread of home. It's so interesting to me because, in a sense, I have a home right now, like externally, but in another month I won't. And having traveled as much as I have, And knowing that home was, when I'm in my heart, I'm home. And that experience is, pulling back that cosmic wonderland. This is the frequency of the field, which is, it can also be called the Akash. It is a unlimited field. And we get into this thing of unlimited potential, unlimited possibilities, and we can start actually driving ourselves. And I can speak for myself. I can drive myself. I got to open more. I got to open more. But I love what's being said here today, because it's this experience of, it's true, it's indwelling, and at the same time, it's the fullness of my human experience externally as well, when I'm not in separation, when I'm in this experience of wholeness, the sensibility of home, because that's why we always want to covet a home, because it's a place where we feel safe, and what I'm really enjoying and practicing and is just this continual opening of the heart, of my heart, to receive the waters, like that's what's been being said here. And I love that, the healing waters. And I was wondering, like, okay, well, why am I so attracted? This calling of the water blessings. But the most magical thing that's really been being shared is a sense of, when we think we're going to bless the water, we're actually there to receive the water's blessing. It has messages of life force, as has been being described as these fractals of light, these fractals of energy, interweaving, and this natural resonance, which we call love, because when we're experiencing, we feel like we're in love. And yes, sure, we can bring that to another person. We can bring that to a possible partner. We can bring that to our work. And when that experience is happening, it creates a ripple of delight. I always used to say this, delightment. Like, all these people are trying to get to being enlightened. But how about delighten? To be in that full experience of delight, where no matter what circumstance I'm in, it's enlivening myself and another, or a circumstance, or a circle, a collective circle. And that's what we're doing here, is we're just broadening that beauty, because it's really, it is what beauty is when we're in the experience of that. So I'm just feeling incredibly grateful for the energy that's moving here. And I pass the crystal talking stick.
This is Dinama. Those of you who might see my name on the ledger there by my face, Dinama Tsunami Magmama. Wow. I feel the tsunami of that today. I feel the tumbling in the crest of the wave as it rolls over into this huge expression of foaming bubbles and kisses the earth. I feel that is this field, and we're remembering how to ride it with joy and peace and trust. It is so affirming and at the same time very silent. there's the invitation to listen to the foam. Really be in stillness and inner silence so we can be enfoamed by the bubbles of delight and joy, of simply aliveness. And my grandbaby agrees. Right? Right, Lucas? The little light? I'm calling him Lucito for the little light. He has wanted to be with us since his birth, and he's just about been on every call with us, knowing that this is his home. This is why he came in this body. It's to be with us in our expression of loving light and in the stillness of our listening. I'm complete.
This is Oriana, and I wanted to quickly follow up by saying there is, in science has discovered what they call a star in a jar, sonoluminosity, sound creating light, and sound frequency distributed in a jar of water with these particular gaseous bubbles, these noble gas of bubbles, and the bubbles burst into light. So when you were saying foam, I was seeing the, sonoluminosity, yes, the foam that just delights into bursting forth in light. And I'm complete.
This is Henry again. I guess the activity of the foam, of the delight I see, kind of reminded me a little of love in action thought. And two things about that. One is that I believe that a lot of Rumi's writings came when he was moving, when he was whirling, when he was the foam, when he was in the place of delight. And so I guess I'm just opening to movement, to action as being places or doorways to intimacy as well, if we open to seeing them in that way. So that it's like karma yoga. I guess there's an intimacy to all of the different yogas, and in some ways we're speaking about bhakti yoga, kind of a devotional yoga to the intimacy. And then there's an intimacy in karma yoga, in action. And there's an intimacy in the wisdom, that we're speaking about the wisdom and all of those pieces coming together. So I'm just opening, I still don't, in some ways, feel like I understand intimacy or what that means. So this is an exploration to me, and certainly kind of not necessarily misunderstandings of intimacy, but intimacy is often thought of in just certain ways. So I'm just opening to the intimacy in the foam, the intimacy in the love of Dinama's grandson, and just all the loving attention that he receives and that he responds to from the intimacy of his experience and being able to be fully in his experience. And such a great teaching of that. So I feel complete.
I'd like to take the talking stick and your words fully in our experience struck a chord within me on how important it is for each of us to find that place where we are not only the foam, but we are the wave and we are the droplet all in one. And this divine self, which we are, is not only spiritual, but cosmological. It's not only DNA, but it's the sound which created the light. And all of these things are a challenge for each of us in this human vessel to carry forth every day. And I'm blessed to be here with each of you today and witness each of your light and each of your foam and each of your blessed presence as we gather in this beautiful field of resonance and share through the inspiration that bubbles from our innermost self. And so I'm complete. Thank you.
This is Shelley, and as I'm hearing these incredible words and feeling these incredible vibrations, the wind here in Florida is just ripping. Just as the water, we're experiencing this sense of foaming, this cresting of the wave, this foaming, being the wave, being the drop of water. And then there's this wind, and the wind is moving. These chimes are just tinkling, and I'm feeling tickled and really feeling this creative force of joy. It's always here. And so just in this moment, I'm feeling this magnificence And we tend to see magnificence outside ourselves. But what if what if I was to feel this full flow magnetism of these elements of which I am and which you are, and we are together interacting. I love this. It's more than a visual, this, here. It's I feel like I could tap dance, but I don't know how to tap dance. That kind of a feeling. Just like, okay. And then I take another breath. Because for me, the experience of the breath is that integration of what deems itself separate. The breath integrates the experience so that it deepens and grounds and roots itself in this electric being. Because I used to experience, just like I would have these experiences and I would just go higher and higher and higher and expand more and huger and huger and huger. And before I knew it, it was like, I don't know if it was like gave it all away or it was just expelled itself. And so part of the experience of being whole is this taking and breathing it in and becoming conscious as I'm breathing in this very, very, very full experience of the wave, of the wind, of the waters, so that it can really root itself. And I think that's the experience of creating momentum. It's like, or I don't know if that's just actually the right word right in this moment, but this sense of breathing it in, breathing this call in, breathing each one of you into my being. I feel like it just sits deeply. And I can refer to that. I am that experience, and I can refer to that experience by simply taking another breath. And I'll leave you with this kind of really funny thought. It was when we were saying enfoamed, being enfoamed. What I heard was informed. It's this information that's taking root inside my consciousness. And I become a reservoir that continues to free flow. But that sense of being that reservoir, that holding tank, so that I have more and more to give to whatever. Yeah, just more and more to give. So the state of presence and fullness. So, yeah, I'm complete.
This is Julie. I have another visual to follow that thread with the winds and the water, foaming. Here in the center of the United States, we had a blizzard. So Friday night into Saturday, and all day Saturday, we had a blizzard here in April. It was crazy. Sustained winds of 40, 50 mile an hour and 60 mile an hour gusts. It was quite a blizzard. And the piece that I just want to drop in here, which is different with the water moving, like water was moving and wind was carrying frozen water. But the winds were so sustained that they picked up the earth with the blizzard. And today, when you get out, and yesterday, the sun is shining, it's gorgeous again, it's all going to melt off quickly. But when you travel around the countryside, you see dirty snow everywhere after a blizzard, which is really unusual here. I don't know if other people have blizzards that are dirty, but literally there's so much dirt that was carried with the water. And the visual when I was listening to Shelley talk about this full integration is literally we probably have earth from South Dakota here in Nebraska today, and earth from Nebraska is in Kansas today. And that full integration of grounding and trusting this process that quite literally we are that too, carried in those winds, carried in that earth. And the consciousness that I'll just leave you with, that the birds are singing today and they're happy. And I don't know where and how they hunker down in a blizzard. I want to know where the birds go, but they're taken care of. And we have the amazing blessing of the sandhill crane migration that comes through Nebraska. 500,000 birds come from all over the South, and they come through this needle right in this 12-mile area of our river to roost and to feed, not to roost, but to feed and to stop on their migration. And then they're going to go back up into Canada and up north and go all over again. But literally, this is a phenomenon that's happened for hundreds of years, where they literally all come in, and right where I live, there's just a 12-mile linear measurement along our river where they come. And they roost, they're down in the river, this huge blizzard comes, they're fine. And I'm getting to my point. During this blizzard, one of my friends went outside and she was videotaping, and she's up north. She could hear some of the cranes leaving on their migration. It's the time for them to go. They literally were flying into those winds. And I think, talk about miraculous, talk about amazing. How do they fly through those winds, get up high enough to catch the winds that take them up north when the north winds are flying down here on the earth? It's an incredible whole system that we are a part of. And this is our home. When I hear those cranes flying above those winds, that even a video could catch that sound. How amazing is that? And this is our home. It's not just in our heart, it's in the beauty of this magic and magical, incredible experience of this earth planet that we live on. With that, I'm complete. That was kind of long, sorry, but so amazing. I'm complete.
So as we complete the spiral of our call, we like to, on this public call, open it up, and if anyone who hasn't shared wants to share into the field, either by just simply saying their name or bringing forth a short sharing, we'd love to hear that. And then we'll close this call, and for those of you who might be new, we close it with a very special ending, so hang in there for a few more minutes. I'm complete.
Hi, this is Don, just saying hello to everybody and wishing lots of love to all.
Okay, so we at Good of the Whole invite you to come join us weekly, of course. Monday, we're always here with a new topic and theme. And if you came just via a friend or got the number, just go to Good of the Whole, and you can sign in. Only need to sign in once only, and you'll receive the monthly resonant reflections, as well as come, because there's wonderful offerings, as well as keep your eye out, because we're about to start a 40-day experience called Love Lives Here, 40 days of reconnection. And if you like this experience, this is really what we're offering through various avenues. There'll be contributors, a simple email. If you go to the whole, you can register. And that 40 days is an opportunity to really move into the sacred experience of self and each other and the earth and the sacred divine within all life. And with that, we invite everyone to take yourself off mute, and we'll end with a chorus, a choir of yum. So this is how we do it. So I'll just start. Everyone can join in. Unmute yourself, and we're going to ripple this love and this resonant and this vibration out to the world. So, yum, yum, yum,
Yum,
yum,
yum,
Yum, yum, yum, yum, yum, yum, yum,
yum,
yum,
yum,
yum.
yum.
Blessings to all. Have a fantastic week. We'll see you here again. Love, love, love.
Love,
Love.
love, love.